I'm 53 years old. My name is Diane Matthews, and for most of my life, I believed I had built the life I was meant to live. I married young, raised my son Brandon, and kept the house in order. I told myself love, real, soul-stirring love, was something I had already experienced. What came afterward was maintenance, routine, responsibility. I was proud of how steady I kept things, proud of being the calm in the storm. But over the past few years, something inside me started to feel distant. I didn't know what it was then, only that I was growing quiet in a way I hadn't before. It happened on a regular Tuesday. Brandon had moved back in temporarily while repairs were being done at his apartment. 27 now, taller, broader, more composed, but to me, still the boy who used to fall asleep in my lap after too many hours of cartoons. I was in the laundry room, folding his t-shirts while soft jazz played and the scent of vanilla and cedar candles filled the air. That room had become my little retreat. The rhythm of folding clothes was second nature, something my hands could do while my mind wandered. I had just smoothed out one of his t-shirts when I heard the floor creak behind me. I glanced over my shoulder and found him standing there, quiet, watching me. "Hey," I said with a smile, lifting one of his socks. "Still losing these, huh?" He chuckled. "Dryer must be eating them. It's got a portal or something." I laughed, shaking my head. "I've been folding your laundry since you were in onesies. If there were a sock portal, I'd have found it by now." He leaned against the counter and didn't say anything right away. His eyes stayed on me, not staring but focused, intent. The silence between us held something unspoken. A stillness I wasn't used to. "You always smell like clean laundry and cinnamon," he said softly. I paused. "That's an odd thing to say." "No," he said, shaking his head gently. "It's just true." I turned back to the laundry, folding a towel, trying to pretend those words didn't land the way they did. But something had shifted. I could feel it in the air, in the way he looked at me like he was seeing more than just his mother. "I miss this," he said. "The house. Your voice. You." That last word made my chest tighten. There was no romantic tone to it, just honesty, deep familiarity. I turned and smiled softly. "You're always welcome here." "I know," he said. I see things differently now." The dryer buzzed, saving me from needing to respond. I turned to open it, thankful for the distraction. As I pulled out warm towels, I felt him step closer. Not touching me, just near. The nearness was electric. "Mom," he said quietly, "can I tell you something without you freaking out?" My heart beat faster. "Sure, unless you've joined a cult." He smiled faintly. "No cults. Just, I think you're incredible. I don't say it enough. You've always held things together, even when things were falling apart." I turned to him slowly and raised my hand to his face, brushing his cheek the way I had when he was a child. "You're a good man, Brandon." He leaned into my touch, his voice barely a whisper. "I don't always know what I am, but being here with you, it feels more right than anything else has in a long time." That moment stretched between us like a held breath. I wasn't folding clothes anymore. I was unfolding something inside myself that I hadn't touched in years. The next morning, I sat with my coffee in silence. Brandon had gone out for a jog. I couldn't stop thinking about what he said. His words hadn't been inappropriate, but they had been deeply personal, emotional. They stayed with me. He returned, breathless, and grabbed a towel. "Can I ask you something real?" he said. "Of course." "Do you ever feel like the life you built didn't really end up being yours?" His question stunned me. I looked at him for a long moment. "Yes," I said. "More often than I'd like to admit." He sat across from me, no tension in his shoulders, just sincerity. "After Dad left, I saw how quiet you got. And I thought if I did better, made you proud, you'd find happiness again." I blinked against the sting in my eyes. "Brandon, you were never the reason I was hurting. Life just wears you down." He reached across the table and covered my hand with his. "You've always been everything to me. I want you to feel that again. Safe, loved." That night, we sat on the back porch. The air was cool. I wrapped a blanket around myself and poured us each a glass of wine. The sky was streaked with fading pink. "Do you ever miss him?" he asked. "Your father? Sometimes. But not the man. I missed what I thought we were building together." He turned toward me. "I always felt safe with you. And now, I want you to feel that way too." He brushed a strand of hair from my face, fingers lingering at my jaw. "I don't want to cross a line," he said, "but I also don't want to pretend I don't feel something." He leaned in slowly, giving me every chance to step away. I didn't. His kiss was soft, barely there, gentle. When he pulled away, I could see fear in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Don't be." That night, I didn't sleep, not from shame or confusion, but clarity. Life draws lines we're told not to cross, but feelings don't always obey rules. I wasn't foolish. I wasn't lost. I felt seen. The next morning, we stood in the kitchen, drinking coffee in silence. "We should talk," I said. "I know," he replied. At the table, morning light spilled across the wood. I looked at him, not the boy I raised, not the man I'd kept at arm's length, but the person who saw me. Really saw me. "That moment on the porch, it wasn't wrong," I said. "It was unexpected, but it mattered." "I feel something with you I don't feel anywhere else," he said. Tears welled in my eyes. "It's been so long since someone looked at me like I mattered." "You do," he said. "You always have." Later that day, he packed up his things. I folded each shirt slowly, carefully. At the door, he hugged me longer than usual. "I'll call," he promised. "I know," I said, brushing his cheek. As I watched him drive away, I didn't feel guilt. I didn't feel regret. I felt known. That day in the laundry room changed something in me, not because of what almost happened, but because I remembered what it felt like to be seen. To be held in someone's eyes as something more than just a role. More than a duty. And now I know I'll never fold a shirt the same way again.